What's up guys, how's it going? Hope you're well. Just wanted to do a really important video, so I hope you guys can pay attention very quickly. I just wanted to address that there's a lot of videos out there at the moment, and it seems quite popular at the moment to talk about like toxic productivity, the dark side of self-improvement, and this kind of anti-self-improvement mindset and movement that's going on now. And before I get into my actual response to it, I would actually like to say that I fully acknowledge that there are problems with self-improvement and there are issues it causes. So a lot of people who get into self-improvement or trying to improve themselves in life, they usually come with quite an addictive personality. So a lot of these people are previously addicted to things like video games or perhaps alcohol or eating unhealthily, and when they start healthy habits they get addicted to the progress they see and it becomes an obsession for them. So I totally see that that is an issue that can affect people, and I can also see that there's another issue as well, and that is, constantly advocating that every possible thing can be improved, which it can, and I think it's a good mindset to have. But where does the line stop? Where do you draw the line? Okay, so somebody who's out of shape can improve their physical shape, somebody who's going through a difficult time can get out of it, somebody who's going through a difficult financial time can improve their income. Okay, but where do you draw the line? Some people out there, when they get too far into self-improvement, they say, oh, facial exercises, that's going too far, or my nose is a bit crooked, how do I straighten it? And it really can lead to this, problems with your self-image and trying to correct every possible thing that is slightly asymmetrical or slightly abnormal, or anything slightly abnormal in your life. And I definitely take on board that criticism, but I would have to say that just like in everything in life, you have to do like a weighing up. You have to consider both the positives and the negatives. And I would say that these negatives that a lot of people are coming up against self-improvement about, and they're making this new movement about, like I said, the dark side of self-improvement and toxic productivity. That's the other thing. Also, quantifying every possible thing in a numerical data figure, the amount of time and hours you worked, is definitely useful, but it does lead into that kind of consumerist mindset where everything is about facts and figures, and you can potentially fail to see the value in more spiritual or more deeper mindful experiences which potentially can't be quantified. And so, for example, quality time with your family is quite difficult to quantify. Like, how many hours is that? Is actually a better time with more focused energy, even if it's a shorter time period. Is that not better? So I totally accept that. Again, there's things that you can't quantify, and so you don't want to just be quantifying everything, and that's something that people can get into the habit of with self-improvement. If they're quantifying their time, quantifying their calories, quantifying their balances, making loads of spreadsheets, I fully accept that. But like I said, going back to weighing everything up and on balance, I think there's far more benefits for people who are not able to improve their life at the moment because of their mindset, because they believe they can't improve, and advocating for them to, come to self-improvement and actually start working on themselves. I think the benefits of that completely outweigh the negatives. And I'd like to actually make another suggestion. So a lot of people who say, oh, people are being told by these self-improvement YouTubers, or people are being told to work to death, or all this sorts of things, and people can work too hard and they can be affected by burnout. Those are all definitely real, tangible things, and I have covered actually fatigue and burnout on my channel before, and a lot of the mental factors that go into that. But like I was saying, on balance, actually, the number of people who are working too hard and being burnt out for the correct reasons is definitely a lot smaller than the number of people who need to work hard and improve their life. So like I said, on balance, actually, I think it's still a very useful thing to advocate people for self-improvement. And the other thing is, people who actually do work hard, people who actually work themselves to death, who they're really struggling so hard, they don't take any breaks, those sorts of people, they're actually, like I said, those addictive personalities, they're usually actually aware of that before they come into self-improvement. And no amount of actual relaxation videos that people say, oh, self-improvement's gone too far, you need to relax, actually that's probably not what's going to help them. They probably need a bit more deeper help. And actually they're probably aware of that. If they've got that far into self-improvement, that they're working that hard, just all their effort into the wall, they are probably very aware of the fact that they're too much of a hard worker, or the fact that actually they need to do something about that, and that's probably something they're struggling with. And so actually making videos about relaxation, and again, a lot of these self-improvement are like cookie cutter videos. They don't give you more specific advice, and that's why I've actually decided to make my channel, because I found that a lot of the self-improvement advice I was getting, for example, I keep going on about the example of self-love and self-indulgence, and how actually the advice that we get is completely wrong. It's completely based off self-indulgence and instant gratification, and anybody who's actually done like a couple of months or even weeks worth of self-improvement can generally tell that a lot of these articles, a lot of these other videos, they're fake out there. And I don't like calling anyone out, and I'm not going to, but that's why I've decided to make this channel and share some of the knowledge that it took me years to acquire. And so, like I said, on balance, it's much better to keep advocating for people to improve themselves, to, like I said in my other short videos, that people who are saying, oh, well, what's the point in improving yourself? Because can everybody be a world champion? Can everybody be the best at everything? Of course the answer is no, but can everybody improve? Yes. And until you actually try and improve, until you actually push yourself, you're never going to know how far you can go. So there's no point in just saying and giving up at the first hurdle because, oh, not everyone can be the world champion. There's already a world champion. I don't have to. No, forget that. You can improve and you should start. And you never know. You might be a champion, you might not. But there's no point just giving up at the first hurdle because you asked the wrong question. So that's my basic response to a lot of the movement out there that's saying that self-improvement and self-improvement and productivity is becoming toxic. And in some ways I would say it can be, especially like I said with fake influencers. Sometimes you can just tell that people aren't following their daily routines. You know, like I said, how many views would people get if they just said, you know, like, I just woke up out of bed today, didn't have that great start, I didn't actually follow my routine as much as I started to, but actually here's what I did to try and recover it. And you know, it probably wouldn't get as many views as somebody saying, you know, I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, I go to bed like at 4 a.m. and I do all of this and I go to the gym 7 times. It's just not going to get the same amount of views, okay? And that's why I think it's really important for smaller YouTubers and people to start talking about their actual journeys and sharing that knowledge. And actually, like I said previously, that's what encouraged me on my journey to start sharing some of the lessons I've learned. So just to sum it up very quickly, the benefits of self-improvement and encouraging people and those mindsets and giving them the specific tips, not just the generic cookie cutter tips that anybody can find on an article online, that is doing much more benefits for people than perhaps a small minority of people who are working too hard or potentially picking up issues from trying to improve too many aspects of their life which they might not need to. And the people who are affected by that anyway are probably aware of this, and consuming content or videos is probably not the thing that's going to help them, and they're probably trying to work on it in other ways. And so that's the key takeaways of this video. So I hope you really enjoyed that, and if you have any feedback, let me know. I always love to hear you guys comments I always love to hear you guys feedback in the comments below. Butchered that a bit, it's been a long day. And check out the books as well, and also, like I've mentioned in a couple of other videos as well, if you do find you're short on time on reading, which I think is a great skill, follow me on Goodreads. I always post book reviews, quick things on there, and you can always see the highlights as well. So I've highlighted the best bits of the book, and if you check out my website, I don't give book summaries, but I highlight the key takeaways that I got from a book, and things to focus on for myself, which you could take as well. So definitely great things to start with if you don't know where to begin. So take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Master your feelings, master your mindset, and I'll see you again in another video.